Hey.
Sorry, I was like, how do I work this thing?
Okay. All right. I think it's recording now. All right. I think we're good.
Okay.
Okay. So, how do I introduce this? Okay. Um, so, welcome. This is obviously going to be added to the YouTube page later on.
Yes.
All right. So, my name is Tagger.
Hello.
I am a friend of Batfamily Trivia,
Yes.
and so I am here today with.
Me, Amber Myers.
So, Amber, you contacted the Batfamily Trivia people because
Yeah.
you are interested in playing
Oh,
Batgirl.
yeah.
And so, guess first question should be, well, not really a question, but like just tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you're from, what inspired you to act, and like why do you want to be Batgirl in a way?
Okay. Well, I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's all the way on the East Coast. And yeah, so that's where I'm from. My family's all from there. I took some acting classes in high school. It wasn't really anything major. And then I always say, like, my dad was like a singer and in a band and stuff, so I've always like leaned towards performing. And surprisingly, I wanted to be a singer, but then like
Mm-hmm.
I can't sing. So I was like, well, that can't happen because that will just go south. And so I got really inspired by acting, and I applied to one college. I was like, I'm getting in this school. I was like,
Oh.
I don't care. I'm getting in this performing arts school. And luckily I did. I had to audition and all of that. It's a private school. Not a lot
Okay.
of people know about it, but it's a full, yeah. So it's
Okay.
like a full performing arts school. And I got in. I flew out to California at 18 years old by myself. Yeah,
Wow.
like if you know where Pennsylvania is in California, that's
Yeah.
really far. And
Oh
so,
yeah.
I went to college and studied acting, stage combat, writing, like poetry and stuff, um, all types of stuff like that in my school. And then a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, I don't know who you are," and I'm like, "That's because I've been in school for 4 years studying. That's why you don't know
Oh.
who I am. I've been studying." And so yeah, that's my little history. I graduated with my bachelor's in June, this past June, last year, June.
Oh, congrats, congrats.
Thank you. But yeah, that's a little bit of my background. I've just been studying because I don't think like you have to be the best actor to study like acting, but I definitely think it's good to take some classes. You know what I mean? Even the best
Yeah,
of the best take
definitely,
classes, or they get help, they get trained. You know what I mean?
definitely. Um, Funny enough that you mentioned like acting school and everything, because just past recently, Kevin Conroy was at Wizard World in
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland, and we had the opportunity to listen to his little Q&A
Mm-hmm.
session, and he went to Juilliard
Oh.
acting school, and he was just telling us like um, how he took like his studies like acting and everything, and like because he was a more of like not like an
Mm-hmm.
actor study, but he was like interested in like the arts like Hamlet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so when he was auditioning for Batman the animated series in the 90s, he and Bruce Timm was giving him the description like, oh, this is who Batman is. This is not the Adam West Batman. um Conroy was like using like his what he's learned at Juilliard to like channel his Bruce Wayne, his Batman. Now he's regarded as the greatest voice actor for
Oh,
Batman in all of Batman
exactly, for
history.
sure. And it's just like even the greatest need, you know, classes. You can't.
Right.
We're not actually superheroes. Like we're human. So it's like we sometimes just need guided down the right path, and sometimes that's acting classes.
Yeah, I mean, like no one is perfect at their
Yeah,
craft. Like right out the gate, you gotta practice, you gotta
exactly. And
train, you
even
gotta.
when you think you're done training, you train some more.
Yep, exactly. So, so it sounds like you are you know a lot about acting, and you mentioned stage combat too, and everything. So, why do you want to be the
Why
Batgirl?
be the Batgirl? Well,
Yeah.
honestly, I've always liked Batman. Like, my mom was obsessed with Batman, so growing up, it was Batman. Like, no other
Mm-hmm.
superheroes, always lean towards Batman. And so, when you grow up with, like, your parents influencing you in that way, it's like that is your favorite character as well. And
Yeah.
so, and then obviously I'm a female, so having a Batgirl who's a female, it's
Mm-hmm.
someone like us females can look up to when we're young. You know what I mean? It's like, oh wait,
Yeah.
I could
Definitely.
be her. You know what I mean? Or oh, that's me. You know? And so I had that take for a while, like when I was a little younger. But honestly, who Barbara Gordon is, I I just it's so she's so relatable yet unrelatable, if that makes sense. Like, she's
Yes.
relatable in the
That.
aspects of like she has a good heart and she believes in doing the right thing, but then like she's super badass and like knows judo. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, like you really are a tough chick. And then her history with her father and her mom and all that, that could be relatable in some aspects for young adults,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Definitely. I feel like Barbara, while she's not has not like had like a lot of the limelight like in live action and stuff like
Which
that. Like
sucks.
if you just look at exactly, it does suck. Come on,
Come
Warner Brothers,
on.
add the add the Bat Family. You'll make $1 billion, I guarantee. But like you look at the cartoons and then the
Oh, so
comics
good.
and stuff like that, and just like you see her struggle and like and how she's like overcome like everything that's come into her life, and that's definitely a great role model for people to look
Yeah,
up
and it
to.
also in some of the cartoons and stuff, like the villains and the guys or whatever, like, oh, basically you're a girl, you can't do anything. And then she's like, okay, watch this. And like
Right.
she punches them or something and they're like, oh. And it's like,
Yeah.
exactly. Don't just because we're female doesn't mean anything. And I really like that message that she puts out there
Exactly.
too. And she's also like very blunt and sassy. And as me,
Mm-hmm.
Amber Myers, that's how I am. So that's another thing I could bring honestly to the table for Barbara Gordon.
Mm-hmm. So sounds like you are well prepared for this role.
I mean, I honestly wake up every morning and try to learn as much as possible. There's a lot to take in. There's a lot to
Yeah,
take
definitely.
in. And I feel like I'm never going to know everything because there's always something
Mm-hmm.
new. You know what I mean? I
Right.
feel like
Yeah.
it's just DC has so much information and I'm really studying, like I want to know everything.
Yeah. Yeah. With jumping into comics in general, it's usually difficult. I remember like back in the day, like it would be like you'll like be reading something like, oh, this happened in this timeline, but now it's not canon
Mhm.
anymore. And so like, what's the new timeline and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I feel like more recently with DC, they've been um, trying to make it accessible for people to jump in and then go back through the
Oh
history
yeah.
and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like I feel like with DC you could kind of just jump in anywhere, like the new Batgirl 32 and stuff. I heard a
Yeah.
lot of people are just starting to jump into that because they saw like how popular it was and they just started reading that comic and then that led to other comics they were reading. So like that
Right.
started their
Right.
passion and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like that's cool. And also, that's also really cool that Batgirl is the one that changed you.
Yeah.
Like, there you go. That's why Barbara's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, like, she has that iconography because, like, she was created for the Batman 1966
Mm-hmm.
show. And so, like, she's up there now. Like there's Bruce Wayne, there's Dick
Oh yeah.
Grayson, and then there's Barbara
Oh yeah.
Gordon.
She's right
And
there.
so, and so, and like I think like the fact that that she's not have like a proper live action role is like just a disservice to her character. Like there was those Batman and Robin and that tanked, and then there was the Birds of Prey show. I believe she was in it. I I haven't really watched that show because that was like the early 2000s. um, but yeah, so
yeah, she had like a couple live action things, but I feel like, you know, with technology and all of that, and you know, present day, we could really make some great art for Barbara Gordon.
exactly.
Like
So,
really make some like next Wonder Woman type movie.
possibly.
Even
I
though
think,
Wonder Woman's Wonder Woman.
yeah,
But still,
but
like she can get that high up.
yeah, definitely. I think a lot of characters like just in the DC world can be like at that level. Because look at Aquaman.
Oh yeah.
People made fun of Aquaman for years, and now he's like the king, $1 billion, sitting at the box office. Like you can't like. I think that's what gravitates a lot of people to Batgirl and stuff like that. It's just like that underdog mentality,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing them just come rise above like any obstacle. It's really empowering.
Oh yeah, especially, you know, with the whole Oracle.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like
That's like amazing. Like just think about it. Just like she's down, can't walk ever again, but she still continues to fight and still continues to help out in the
yeah.
team. That
But then
that's
yeah, and then it also showed like, you know, she was sad what happened to her. You know, she
mm-hmm.
took that in for a while, and then she realized, you know, it wasn't like, oh, she was paralyzed, go right into it. You know, she took a moment and was like, whoa, this
Mm-hmm.
sucks. What do I do about it? Okay, this is the game plan. And then she went, you know what I mean? Then she found Oracle. She renamed herself. You know, she helped Birds of Prey. She created that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So like I
Yeah.
think that for me as a female, like I mean, and for anybody, you sit back, you know, you as humans, really, you get pushed down, and you're like, all right, I could either stay down or figure something out, work with the situation, and get back up. And you know, that's something we could look
Right.
into with Barbara Gordon. We look up
Right.
to her for that because like that takes a lot. I like
Yeah.
imagine. I
Definitely.
can't even imagine being paralyzed like that. Like, oof.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
continue to do what she does. Gosh,
Yeah.
goodness,
She's definitely a character. Definitely a really good character.
definitely. And she has so much love in her heart. She really does. She
Mm-hmm.
really, really does.
All right. So let's move on to the next question
Okay.
then. Um. So let's see here. I have here a report. So you're obviously campaigning to be Batgirl in the solo Batgirl movie that was announced by Warner Brothers a couple years ago.
Yes.
Let me just provide a little background on that. So originally that was going to be directed by Joss Whedon, but he backed down. According to Variety, he backed down in April of 2018, and so I'm not, from what I can find, there's not really like a director attached right now. But obviously it's still in development because Warner Brothers still has technically their slate of all those solo films like Nightwing, Batgirl, Deadshot, or I think Deadshot got canceled. But like they still have Batgirl on the table.
Yeah, they do.
So with you campaigning for being Batgirl, which is actually really good, like at right now with your position right now, since it's not like so deep in development, there's still like a high chance that you can get in and stuff like that. And we've seen like your campaign online on social media, which is really great.
Thank you.
I love to see that. Love to see the support, like everyone just coming together to get you to play this character.
It's awesome. Like honestly, the feedback I'm getting is awesome. I mean, there's a couple of negativity, like, but
there's always negative people because
always they don't know who I am. They don't know. They think I'm just like this random little girl, and I'm like, no.
yeah.
I promise I'm not like this random little girl. I have a degree. I've worked with some great people. I have an agent who is amazing. So I have a great team who's also helping me. And just like everybody on the social medias who are tagging and all that, it's actually amazing.
Yeah, definitely. And I think since you're like don't have like a lot of products too, and you're kind of like a newcomer
Newcomer like a cucumber.
Since like you're new and everything, that also helps because people like quote unquote no names, because like I'm trying to think, like, so like the MCU, you have Robert Downey Jr., you got Chris Evans, you got big names, stuff like that. And I've seen like DC, they like to take like smaller names, which I think helps a lot, because you're not distracted by the fact, oh, this is just some big actor who's doing this for a paycheck or whatnot.
Yeah.
It's a small time actor who is putting their hearts into this role, and usually when they put their hearts into it, it's usually that's when it's like the best acted and stuff like that. So yeah, with this Batgirl solo film, you're doing a great job just getting your name out there and campaigning and stuff like that.
Thank you. It's hard, man. It's really hard. But it's definitely worth it. Like, I sometimes contemplate, I'm like, I could sit here and do nothing, or I could work my butt off, network on social media. Like, you know, networking is a big part of social media, and see what happens. You know what I mean? Because first of all, even getting Warner Brothers to recognize anyone, unless you're a big name, I think is pretty hard. But you know, I'm religious. You know, I've been praying. I've been putting the positivity in the universe. I've been ignoring the negative, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna work really hard and see where it takes me. Because, in all honesty, I have a good feeling about this. I love Barbara, and even if, you know, it doesn't go where I want it to go, I'm still going to love Barbara and Batman and DC, no matter what. Like, this isn't just like a temporary thing, you know? Like, I wake up every morning for a reason to study early, because, you know, I have a day job, you know? So that takes part of my time. So it's like I'm, you know, part of my life now is DC, you know?
Yeah. So.
Oh, but with the new director thing, before he like dropped it, Joss, he even stated in a lot of his interviews that he is looking for a new face, because he didn't want Barbara to just be like a name, and you have, like, he explained it that he was like, I don't want for you to look at this actor and like remember that actor and other things. He wanted you to look at Barbara and see Barbara, and that, like, I was like, I love that. And who cares? Like, everyone's so against, like, oh, she's a no name or he's a no name. He's not gonna run the movie, and I'm like, you don't know that. You know, you don't know that.
Right.
So I really did like what he stood for when he was with the project, and I really hope that stays. And I kind of like the concept he was going for too, like a younger Barbara.
Oh yeah, and I think since they're doing DC is going back with a younger Batman, I think it'll work better to have like a younger Barbara and a younger Dick Grayson and stuff like that. Because obviously we're Batfamily trivia. We're hoping for the Batfamily to make their live action debuts on the big screen.
That would be. I just got chills. Again. That'd be so cool. Like, that'd be so awesome. And like, either seeing it or being in it, it's gonna be awesome either way.
Yeah. So, with the solo film, how would you picture your interpretation of Barbara fitting into this world? Would you want it to be like how like the Batman had it in 2004, where like she tried being Batman's sidekick, but he was originally at first hesitant, and then joined the team when Dick Grayson was adopted? Or do you feel like it'll be better if you just have like Batgirl established in like the universe already and not go through an origin per se?
I think it would be awesome if we see her getting accepted. Because that, like, I feel like it would show like the drive she has, instead of, oh, here's the movie, she's already in it. You know, because there are people out there that don't know about Batgirl. There are. Right. And I think it would be really cool, like, oh, this is how Batgirl started. This is how Barbara, you know? And then I really think from there, they would have, like, their adventures with villains and all that. And then, honestly, I think it would be really cool if they also showed, you know, since they would be doing a younger Batgirl, maybe, like, how the new Batgirl of Burnside is.
Oh yes, Batgirl Burnside is my
Yeah,
favorite
like I think that would be
run.
so cool if they put that into it. Like she's a college student, you know, and
Yeah,
then she meets, you know, Batman and all that.
and it's more realistic too. Because I think that what DC and Warner Brothers are trying to do is they're trying not to like have a repeat of Batman and Robin,
Yeah.
because obviously that happened. So I think I can understand kind of why they're a little hesitant. But I feel like if they're going to introduce Robin and Batgirl, then you gotta age them up to like college level, because being in college is much more practical.
It's relatable.
Because you have time, you don't have like you have time between your classes, and obviously like I have a class at 10 a.m. and I have a class at 4 a.m.
But I
That's
gotta
like
fight crime.
six, yeah, the 6 hours window there. I can fight crime and stuff like
Yeah, and
that.
then like the struggle of, you know, mean people in school and, you know, trying not to beat them up.
Yeah, yeah, like, or like you want to go like, oh, there's like a social gathering going on,
Yeah.
and like you really want to go, but you're like, oh, I
Yeah,
can't, because
priorities. I think that'd be
the
so
Joker.
cool.
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
like the relationship between her and her father, that needs to be in there for sure.
Oh yeah, that's definitely like a great
Oh yeah.
relationship.
Oh yeah.
So let's see. We done what you most like about Barbara. We talked about the solo Batgirl and the DCEU. Talked about yourself. So, what is your favorite incarnation of Batgirl? Are you more of a Yvonne Craig kind of girl, or you mentioned Burnside? You like
Oh yeah,
Burnside,
that's like,
or
I love Yvonne for sure. Like she's iconic. But
right?
I do like Batgirl of Burnside. Now I'm recently like trying to get my hands on all of the comics. You know, it
Oh
takes
yeah.
time. It
Oh
takes
yeah.
time and
And
money.
yeah, comics are not as cheap. They're not 10 cents
No,
anymore.
no.
I wish.
I'm also going to this big I forget what it's called, but it's in California. It's about an hour away. But I'm actually gonna record, like, my friend, he's like a editor and a video person,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna record our experience going to this giant comic store with like all types of stuff. And I'm super excited because I'm like, I'm gonna be dropping some money here. So I'm really excited to, you know, see other comics and stuff, because a lot of my friends do read comics, so that's really
Mm-hmm.
cool. Like they help me out, they, you know, they teach me things if I'm confused, so it's really
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, I really do like the new 52. Like that has to be my favorite, and like just like the illustrations are pretty good too.
Yeah. Babstar with Burnside is like my favorite artist
Oh yeah,
for Batgirl.
very talented.
So you mentioned like you're trying to find all the comics. I know there's like a volume, because I own like a volume, the first like 6 issues of Burnside, and like a volume 1 kind of thing. So if you can probably
Yeah, I
find
saw
that.
that. I saw that. I think it's like almost $200. I was like, oh my goodness.
I'm sure you can find it cheap. I know I didn't pay $200 for it.
I know, I'm probably looking in the wrong area. I'm like, oh jeez.
Well, I'm sure at this comic store you're going to, they're probably gonna
Yeah, and I'm
help
like,
you
that's
out with
probably
it a
with like
lot.
shipping and handling, and I'm like, oh jeez. I'm
Oh
just gonna
yeah,
go in person. It's probably gonna be way cooler to actually, you know, feel it and check it out, explore.
yeah. So obviously you're campaigning for the Batgirl solo role in the DCEU, and we're gonna be honest here. The DCEU, it looks like it's going on the right track right now, but it also has like needs some work done and stuff like that. But it's obviously getting better, because like Wonder Woman and then Aquaman were both successful, and then Shazam is looking
Oh
like it's going
yeah.
to be
Oh
very
yeah.
successful. So the status of Batman and everything, it's a little bit of a gray area right now. So I was wondering, would you be open to being Batgirl on the DC Universe app? Because you got Titans and you got Doom Patrol, and there was a quote unquote rumor that there was going to be a Batgirl series, but obviously right now in the next year or so, it doesn't look like this in development right now. But I feel like they're going to continue Titans, obviously with season 3, and I think they'll probably introduce Barbara Gordon.
Oh, yes.
Do you? So, would you be open to playing Barbara on the DC Universe app in that DC universe,
Heck
whatever it's
yes.
called, whatever they want to call it?
Yes. First and foremost, I love that because on Teen Titans, it is a lot of smaller names that they just picked up. You know what I mean? I love that. Either way, like portraying and characterizing the Barbara Gordon in any form would be an honor. In any format, you know what I mean? It would be an honor.
Yeah.
You know, and I honestly love Teen Titans.
Yeah.
I watched the cartoon one when I was really young. Like that's how my love got for it. At first, when I was really young, I was like, "What is going on? Like all these kids, you know?" And then I was like, "Oh, this is actually pretty good," you know. And I'm just like so happy that they actually have that, and that does show them casting younger and fresh faces, and I really stand by that.
Yeah, because Ryan Porter, he was. So I remember watching on Nickelodeon. He used to have a show called Super Ninjas. It was a live action show about his family of ninjas. I don't know why I watched it, but I remember a couple years ago he was campaigning to be Tim Drake in the DCEU. But then I guess Warner Bros. Contacted him, and he got to play Beast Boy, and now he's Beast Boy on the app. So, which is great, and I feel like if DC and Warner Bros. Are willing to do that with Ryan Porter, I'm sure they were willing to do it with you and stuff like that, and definitely with Batgirl, because like you said, they're trying to push out the Batfamily and everything, because you know it's Batman's 80th anniversary and everything. So I think they're trying to spice it up a little bit.
They should. It's good. And I think spicing it up with a new fresh face and not somebody that we see 20 times in 20 different films is a good thing. You know what I mean? It's good to start fresh. It's like a breather in a way. You know, some people are very timid by it. They're not sure, and that's totally okay. But it's good to give people chances. Like, let us show you what we can do. You know what I mean? Let us, you know, because we're gonna put in the work.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because like, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, like an actor who's been doing this for like 20 years, is just gonna do it more likely enough. Because you know, some people like it, like doing their roles. But if you are like, okay, let me just do this for a quick paycheck and what like that, stuff like that. But like a fresh actor would be like, is gonna put the time, put the dedication, because they know this is their big role and this is what gets their name out there.
Yeah, and so, especially if they have love for that character. That I think that plays a big part too, because these characters teach us things that we didn't know about ourselves.
Oh yeah, definitely. They help us like with overcome tragedies. They show us how to be good people and stuff like that. And definitely you need that in the world, like, and that's why they just last so long.
That's why they've never gone out of style either.
Right. They're like, I like making this comparison because like you got the Greek gods and stuff like that, and like we're right now we're living like in the age of like the new American god. I forget what people call it, but like we're living in history. These are our Greek gods. These are our like people like 100, 200, 300 years from now are going to be looking back at these characters and reading all these stories and stuff like that.
That's cool. Yeah. That's so cool, man. That's so cool.
Yeah. So you're open to working on a DC
app. Yes. Actually, a girl just gave me a shout out who is casting the DC account page, and I thought that was super cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, I saw it and I was like, kind of shook. I was like, oh my gosh, she saw it.
Yeah,
like I get like that. Anybody who tags me in things or there's like anything positive, I'm like I'm so happy. I'm so excited. I'm so thankful. Like, I just get so thankful and blessed. And I just say thank you so much. And, like networking, like people probably think I'm weird because I network. I send out the link. I send out like that, the article that DC Comics News gave, had me. And people probably think I'm weird, but I'm like, I'm just trying to network here. I'm trying. I'm working really hard over here.
Yeah. Yeah, networking is very important because it's the age of social media. Like people are connected and like they want to know about this and want to know about that. And people who are really want to know about you, they're gonna take the time. Like, okay, I'm gonna find as much information I can on this person to see if they're fit for the role and stuff like that. Well, and I think networking is great. Is a great way, and that's like that's honestly like how like a lot of us big accounts like got to this position. We worked with people and. Like the best accounts are the people who still work with people and are still like open to like improving and stuff like that.
Yeah, and opening to they're not people who aren't like selfish with their pages. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm like that. Like that shows real kindness that you gave me a shout out and you have like so many followers. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, like you took the time out of your day, you made that, you believed in me, and that's just awesome.
Right.
Especially you, like, you guys are awesome. You're the whole team.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, our mission, or the mission, the original, back in 2014 when we started this, we just wanted to make a community of people, just who felt safe in like talking about superheroes or Batman in general, because like in the real world, because kids and people at school and stuff like that, they can be mean and like they can bully you, and so we just wanted to create that space where you can just talk about like, oh, I love Batman, or I like Spider-Man and stuff like that, and you just find other people who enjoy that passion with you and just have a good time.
I love that because I'm such a believer in sticking together because there's so much negativity going on, so that's another topic, though.
Let's see. So now let's get into some more, I wouldn't say like trivial questions, but like more fun questions in a way. So do you ship Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon?
Duh. Duh.
Good. Okay. That's good because I mean, Corey and Dick, they're okay, but Dick and Babs for life.
For life. It's such a great little story.
Yeah. Let's see. So we got your favorite interpretation of Batgirl. Yes. Do you have a favorite like movie or cartoon that features Batgirl, or are you just like a fan of the animated series, or do you like the new adventures?
I really love the animated series. I'm trying to also like rewatch a lot of things. Like I said, I'm trying really hard to do all my education and make sure I got everything down. Because I don't want that to be the reason I don't get the roles because I didn't watch a certain movie, or you know what I mean? I want to make sure I have all of my chickens lined up. So yeah, but the animated series, it really, in my opinion, it really shows her character. It just shows who she is. It shows what she stands for. It shows, it just shows everything.
And it holds up really well. Like after like 20, 25 years and stuff like that, it's just so timeless.
Yeah, it's really great for a cartoon.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like you look at some of the cartoons out today, like, and you're just like, this is what they're giving kids today. Like,
it's like, what is going on? This makes no sense.
Yeah, but funny enough, which is surprising. I'm surprised that the DC Universe app has like doesn't have me as a sponsor yet, because like, it's a great app, and like all the episodes of the animated series are on the DC Universe app, and I would say I spent a couple of like lunch periods and stuff like that. Not lunch periods, why I call lunch periods? Spent a couple of like days at lunch just watching a couple episodes, and it's really great.
Good.
So, DC, if you're listening, which
DC,
you'll probably be
if you're
listening,
out and listening,
listen, we're willing to work with you.
both of us.
Let's see. Well, have you seen the new Cartoon Network show, the DC like superhero girls,
Yes,
which
yes,
just
yes,
like
yes. I've actually watched a couple episodes of it.
oh
DC
yeah,
Heroes
I
or
love
something like DC Hero Girl, something like that.
yeah,
It's so cute.
I love yeah, I like what they're doing with Barbara, and she's like just this super hyper like fangirl and everything, because like the jokes actually stick and everything. It's just funny like to see her character like just be so like sporadic and
Yeah,
everything.
it's a little different, but I like it. They have to target younger, you know, kids. So,
Mm-hmm.
they gotta give some and take some with that.
Yeah, and and that's great. Like it's great like to introduce them young,
Hmm.
because like obviously I don't want to be sit here and bash Marvel, but their cartoons have not been the greatest in the last couple years. I will say that. Like the movies are excellent and everything, but like their cartoons, like I tried watching a couple, and I'm just like, okay, this is like the animation is not the standard, everything, and like the storylines are not that entertaining. But here at DC, the king of animation
Hmm.
and everything, they know how to tell a good
Oh yeah,
story.
it's cute too. I genuinely like it.
Yeah. Uh, so let's backtrack a little bit
Okay.
then. So you mentioned that you train like stage combat and everything.
Yes.
Um, so you're willing. I assume you're willing to do all your own stunts pretty
Oh yeah.
much if you got the opportunity to play Batgirl. Like, so what did you train? Like, what martial arts or anything, or is it more just like doing certain routine and stuff like that?
Yeah. So well, before I went to college, I took women's self-defense and kickboxing. Because
Okay.
my
Yeah.
yeah, my
Good.
mom is super big. Like she does all these type of things that I don't even know the names of, but she was like, Amber, you'd really love kickboxing. It's good calorie, like to take away calories, and it just gets out
Mm-hmm.
energy, and it just helps you. If you have to fight, like it just helps you. It's just fun. And I was like, at
Yeah.
first I was like, I was a little younger, and then I took it, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wait, I really like this. And kickboxing has everything. It has jabs, it has
Oh
kicks.
yeah.
Like people think, oh, kickboxing, you're just kicking things. No, that's really not the case. So I
Oh
learned a
yeah.
lot from there. And then women's defense, I did here and there. I think maybe like once or twice, because
Mm-hmm.
And so then I went to college, and since it was a full blown like performing arts school, we had to learn everything. And stage combat was one of them. And this was when I really fell in love with combat. So my first and second year, 'cause I went for 4 years. So my first and
Mm-hmm.
second year, we learned all types of things. I got to learn how to camera fight, stage fight. I learned how to do swords. That was really
Mm-hmm.
cool. And how
Wow.
to like maintain swords, how to take care of them. You know what I mean? Um, yeah,
Okay.
like, and all of that is theater and camera, like, because they're two different things, two completely different things. So
Okay.
that was really my love. And then there was this, I didn't get to sign up for it, and I was so upset. It was this harness thing in my school. You got like tied up to this building, and you learned how to jump from like a building or something.
Oh
I
wow.
know. And it was during the summer, and it was limited spaces. And I tried so hard to get in because I was like, I'm going to jump from this building. This is cool. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to learn how to jump from this building and land. And I didn't make the cut because like I was too late to sign up for it. But
Oh
I
dang.
know, but that would be a dream to jump off a building, obviously in a harness or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I like in high school I took kickboxing, and then I took Krav Maga, which is Israeli self defense, and those were really great classes just to know
Yeah, exactly.
how to defend yourself and
Yeah, and
everything.
then it's
It's
amazing. And then, Barbara is a brown belt in judo, and I
right,
really want to
right.
find some good classes.
Trying like I know like I in my area like there's a judo class available, but like obviously I'm in school right now, so I have to travel and
Yeah,
everything.
because I was doing some research though too about judo. It's basically comes from jiu-jitsu. And I'm like, even if I take a class like that, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But then also I have, since my school, there was like the theater, the musical kids who sing, and then the dancers, and then you had the actors, but who were like really into stage combat, who just really wanted to do combat. And I was in the middle between the combat people and then the acting people, because I really want to do both. And that's really beneficial, because I want to act and I want to do my own stunts. But I have some really great friends who are way more talented in combat than me. Like, honestly, out of this world talented. And they teach me stuff. Like, actually, one of my friends, we meet up every Monday, and, we just work on things. Every Monday. So it's just really cool. I really love stage combat. I will not be jumping out of an airplane, though. I will not.
You afraid of heights, or the chute not coming, or anything like that?
Planes freak me out. The concept and everything, oh goodness.
That's understandable.
Yeah, and I fly a lot. They just scare me.
Yeah. Let's see. It's funny how you mentioned, jumping off buildings and everything, because like at my college, like I remember last semester there was like the National Guard or everything came by, and like you just had people like strapped up in harnesses, and they were just rappelling down like the side of the building.
What? That'd be cool.
Yeah, I thought it was like the line was wrapped around the block. I was impressed.
That's cool.
but yeah, like I'm hoping with whatever the DC, like the EU does, that like, they go back to like the idea of just doing like live action locations, because like a lot of movies now they're like starting to use green screen and everything for like stuff like that. It kind of like loses that like reality, like, oh, I can see like Wayne Tower in the background, but I know that's CGI.
Yeah.
But if you just take a real life building and like show like just the Wayne logo, and I can see myself just running across the rooftop past
that. I agree with that. I wish there was less CGI, and like green screen, but I mean,
it has its pros and its cons.
Yeah.
And let's see. Well, we're about almost to the 45-minute mark and everything.
Oh wow, yeah.
So I guess just wrapping up now. I don't know. Oh, that's someone else's phone. So Amber, where can we find you? Like this is your moment to just like plug yourself and just go back to saying like why you want to be the Batgirl.
I want to be the Batgirl because I love Barbara Gordon so dearly. Over these past couple months, she's grew even more and more on me. I feel like I can really bring this character to life. For one, I'm a fresh face. I've studied the craft. I want to do my own stunts. I have a great team. I have great supporters. And this is like kind of off topic, but I really want to say it. But there's nothing wrong with being a size 2, but I am not a size 2. I'm a little curvy. I've danced since I was 3 years old. So I have like muscular legs. I have thicker legs, but I put in work every day. I work out every day because I want to, be in shape for Barbara Gordon. I don't want that also to be a reason why I don't get the role. But I've noticed that in this industry, there are a lot of skinny females and they are beautiful. But I really want Barbara to have some curves. Who cares if she has a butt and, thicker legs? That shouldn't be the reason why I don't get cast. You know what I mean? Because I'm strong.
Right.
Like I said, I have dancer legs. And so I really want, and I also think it's beneficial that we see somebody out in this big universe of heroes who looks like that. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Because when I was a kid, I didn't have that. I didn't have somebody I could look up to that was my size. It was always like, I need to be skinnier. I need to not eat all day because I want to look like that on the screen. You know what I mean? And that's not a good thing. Some people aren't like that, but for me, I was like that. I was always trying to get skinnier. And the reality is that shouldn't be the case. You should be happy with yourself, and you could still kick ass and be this
Yeah.
superhero girl. And that's what I really want to portray. Like, I think we just need more in it. I think we need new faces. I think we need more positive body positive in like, this DC universe. So just touching that base, like getting a little deep, but
No, you're great. Like, amen to that. The wise words of Amber.
yeah. In all reality, I think Barbara does have curves. She
Mm-hmm.
does. And
Yeah,
anybody who
she
says
does.
she doesn't, that's false. She definitely has curves, and I think it should be known.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah,
You're right. You're absolutely 100% right. It's time. Representation is really
yeah,
important. Definitely in this
yeah. And
industry.
I hope whatever path they go, they don't make her, you know, not how she is in the comics. I hope they
Yeah,
really do justice, and no matter which I know they will, but I'm just saying it.
yeah, yeah. It's always there's always that worry in the back of your head, like, oh, what if they don't do it right? But I feel like we should probably trust them
Oh
on
yeah,
this one.
for sure. But yes, I just, in all honesty, I really love Barbara Gordon. I love the Bat family. I've loved Batman since I was a little girl. Like I said, it was my favorite. And I really think I could do justice with this character. I really do.
Well, here's hoping that you get the part, and good luck to you. And obviously, we'll be working
Oh
again
yeah, this isn't goodbye.
very soon.
I love Bat Family Trivia's content and everything. So
Well, we really do appreciate it. We just try to provide facts every
oh yeah,
day.
it helps me out. Trust me, I read them. I try to read everything.
Well, audience listening to whatever we call this podcast, I guess the Bat Family podcast. This has been Amber Myers, who is campaigning right now to be Batgirl in the DCEU or the DC universe, whatever they want to call it. I don't know what they're calling it. Where can they find you, Amber? Like on social media, where can they find you? Instagram, Twitter, stuff
All
like
right. So you can find me on Instagram at Amber Ever, AMBEREVER, no space. And Instagram Ever Myers, EVERMYERS. And then I have a professional Facebook page at Amber Ever Myers.
that. All right. Sounds
Thank
great.
you so much for everything.
Thank you for coming on and being our first guest on this podcast series.
That's also an honor, just letting you know.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do with this podcast series.
You got it.
You
got it.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, this has been Tagger working with the Bat Family Trivia crew, and this has been Amber. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and we'll see you guys later.